We put out a request for ideas, looking for people who've got ways of using the web to solve social problems, and we invite them to come up with their ideas and submit them to a website. Then after a few months we have a judging panel that selects 6 or 8 of those ideas that we really think have legs, have real potential. A couple of weeks later we run an intense prototyping weekend where a whole bunch of web developers and people with specialist expertise come together and help the people who came up with the ideas to develop their idea to the prototype stage, so that we can then actually take the concept to the marketplace and hopefully get the resources to really implement and develop the program.
Our idea is 2 Bob's Worth. It's a micro-volunteering platform to encourage people to do a little bit in their community. We're concerned that at the moment, if you want to do something in your community, you don't really know where to start.
Yes, the idea is to facilitate carpooling through local councils by encouraging residents of a particular area to go to their local council website and find a carpooling partner through the database that the local council hosts.
Well, my idea is Good News TV. Press and media is going for the bad news, and obviously because that's the news that sells. Some people are more interested in hearing positive sides of humanity, and so we want to create a community collating good news, aggregating it, and then also being able to send a weekly digest.
The problem that a lot of people have when something unexpected happens to themselves or a loved one is the fact that they're suddenly confronted with the need for a whole lot of different health services that they didn't know anything about before. So what we want to do is to collect some information about people who've been through that experience. People who then have similar issues can access and learn a lot more about how it works and where to find things, where services are that would be appropriate to their particular needs.
Our idea is called Tools for Good, and what we're building is an online toolbox for social innovation. Basically a repository, a library, a source for any kind of tool that can support social innovation in Australia.
My idea is called Refugee Buddy, and I'm hoping that it's going to be a tool which connects service organisations with people in the community who are volunteering to give a hand and create a personal relationship with a refugee person or a refugee family, and kind of give them local knowledge that they need to kind of feel connected to the broader Australian community and to really navigate their way through everyday life in Australia.
What's for Dinner connects local merchants like the fishmonger, greengrocer, butcher, and even farmers to consumers. Basically a 50% direct marketing service for those food providers, and it's also a social networking site for the consumers.
Basically the idea is that there are 2 forms of data. There's what happens at the government level with the taxonomies, with all of the official measuring tools, and then there's what happens on the ground, the messy stuff, the complex stuff. And what we realise from talking to people is that that stuff is often not captured effectively. What we're trying to do is to allow the people who are doing the messy stuff to translate what they're doing into the official stuff, and allow people who are looking for official data to be able to identify need at a local level.
Specifically, it's also about timeliness of information. So as well as being able to get the messy data sets from people on the ground, researchers, non-profits, we also want to make sure we capture the real stories that might be occurring as programs are implemented, and understand the needs that might be emerging.
That's how we engage, and that's how we get them involved, because the incentive to them is that they're looking at undefined sets of data, and if we're looking at emerging patterns and emerging
ideas of what recent helpers are, and then some case studies that we can sort of do rah-rahs.
So I click on I can help, and then what I can help would take to some sort of search.
Yeah, so that's I've just uploaded that to the wiki.
You know, the other levels of government that need to be influenced as well.
Yes. Yeah. So we need to develop the influence strategy, and I'm putting that into our list here because it's not in there yet.
Right.
I mean, I don't know whether the university have come at it or not now. I don't know where they send. They're really difficult to deal with as far as anything that's a little bit different.
It's probably not. It's like you could host this for like, at least in its infancy, you could host it for less than $10 a month.
All you need is the Slash Media Wiki to get to the homepage, so that's something to...
And James, you guys are actually working on looking at how the search results might look from the other end. I see two kind of search result pages. The first one just with kind of amalgamations, and then you can kind of click through and see more about a certain person. Is that
it's quite popular because the slow food movement is in there now.
Yeah.
But it's just then people have then got two scenarios that they're pretty much comparing one against the other, and the idea is that they're all going to jump for the good one.
Or you should have something like, how slow food movement started in Italy and they're all about eating locally, but then why are we eating Italian kiwi fruits?
Good contrast.
Yeah.
The stage of the presentation is finalisation, but it only began 10 minutes ago. We're struggling. Nervous, yes. Adrenaline pumped, yes. But I don't drink coffee, so I'm struggling.
We're good. We're just, last minute. This is the fun, the adrenaline rush. Everybody's just crazy trying to do it, and it looks like it's impossible, but it will be done, and it's going to be amazing.
I'm freaked out. I'm trying to get things finished and get this thing across to Raoul as soon as I can. The guys are doing an awesome job on the website, so that's all under control. I've just got to get some words around it that does it justice, so fingers crossed.
And finally, the first place prize. Would the team from Refugee Buddy come up? Congratulations.
I feel kind of actually overwhelmed, but also really humbled to be in this company, actually. All of these projects were fantastic, and I really hope we can take Refugee Buddy to the places that all these people have shown the faith that it can go to. So thank you very much, everybody.